if an unusual attitude goes from bad to worse, well, you could wind up in a stall or even a spin. Now, just as when you're flying VFR, a stall is really no big deal when you're flying on instruments either, as long as you know how to recognize it and recover from it. Now, one place where pilots do get into trouble is when they're climbing and they climb into a cloud deck. Well, there's a tremendous tendency to get really disoriented. And so it's not at all uncommon for pilots to pitch up, and when they do that, they could get into a stall. So let's talk about how to recover from a nose-high power-on stall on instruments. Now, the first time, let's assume that all the instruments agree with each other and we can count on the attitude indicator. So here we are climbing, and let's assume that we have entered the clouds and I become disoriented. So I'll pitch up even more. Oops, there's the stall horn. When I look at the panel, I see the attitude indicator with a very nose-high attitude and the airspeed very low and decreasing. I've already got full power in, so I'll use the attitude indicator to pitch down and level the wings. And as the speed increases, I'll pitch back up to a climb attitude when I get my climb speed. And what do you know? We have made a good stall recovery with little or no altitude loss. Now, this time, let's assume that we've had a complete vacuum system failure and we're going to have to recover without the use of the attitude indicator and the heading indicator. So I'll cover these instruments up to simulate their loss. Let's say once again I'm climbing, I've entered the clouds, I've become disoriented, and I've pitched up too high. Oh, there's the stall warning horn. This time I have to ignore the attitude indicator. I see I have low and decreasing airspeed. Again, I've already got full power in. So I'll pitch down until the airspeed indicator starts increasing and the VSI needle reverses its trend and starts down. And I'll level the wings with the turn coordinator. Now, what I don't want is a nose down unusual attitude. So as soon as the airspeed indicator shows about 60 knots, I'll pitch back up slightly to level attitude. Now, while all of this has been going on, I've been keeping the wings level with the turn coordinator. Now, when the airplane returns the climb airspeed, I'll pitch up the climb attitude, and we have recovered from a partial panel stall on instruments safely, and we're on our way. Now, there are two things you want to make sure you do right when you recover from a stall on instruments. And the first thing is make sure you don't lose control of the airplane, get the airplane in a screaming dive, and overstress the airframe. So just as when you fly the airplane VFR and you stall it, you don't have to do anything extreme to recover from that stall. In a power-on stall, just a gentle pitch down will do the job. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure you keep the airplane coordinated so you won't enter a spin. I mean, can you imagine how confusing a spin on instruments could be? So here's where your good habit of keeping the airplane coordinated while you're climbing really becomes important. So keep the airplane coordinated, and even if you do stall, you won't have to worry about recovering from a spin on instruments.